All right, so now we're going to be talking about functions, and this may be something new for you and can be a little bit confusing, so just be sure and practice this a lot, and I'll try to give you some ways to help you understand. Right now we're talking about relations, domains, and ranges. So a set of ordered pairs is a relation, and then all the x-coordinates will be the domain of that relation, while the y-coordinates will be the range. So equations such as y equals x squared are also called relations, since equations in two variables define a set of ordered pairs solutions. So pretty much anything that's got ordered pairs we can call a relation. Now notice that the directions say find the domain and range. So the domain of this we're going to write in a certain way with the braces, okay? And basically we just list the x's. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to put them in order, but it may or may not matter that you do that, just that they're all there. It's kind of easier for us to look at whenever they're in order if we're comparing to my math lab or, another student or something. And then the range would be all the y values. So the range, once again, we put it in the braces. The range is going to be -6, -2, and 4. And that's simply what you do whenever you're looking at these types of, these relations. That's how we can write domain and range. So on the next relation, let's write domain. So you might notice something here, that the domain, all of the x's are 5, so we just list the 5 one time. We don't have to write it more than once. Anything in the domains we write one time, the domain or range. And then we're going to write our range, and notice we have -3, 0, 3, and 4. It might make more sense to you to just put them in the order that they show up, but I'm putting them in numerical order, which is also okay. Okay, a function. So a function is a set of ordered pairs that assigns each x value exactly one y value. In other words, a function cannot have two ordered pairs with the same x-coordinate but different y-coordinates. And so when we're looking at this, we're really looking to see, do any of our x's repeat? So determine whether each relation is also a function. They're a relation. Let's look at this. So we have a 3, 1, -2, and 4. None of those are the same, so we say this is a function. Or just say function, right? This is a function. And that's because all the x values are something different. Notice we had some y's that repeated, and that's perfectly fine. On the next one, let's look, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 5 again. So this one is not a function because two of my x-coordinates were the same number, 5. This says determine whether each graph is the graph of a function. So we're basically looking to see, do any of my x-coordinates repeat? Now you could just name the ordered pairs, right? This one is -2, 0, and -1, 0. This is 0, 1. And then on the next one we have 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, and 4, 2. And now I've listed all of this, and we look through and see, I didn't put the 1 there, we see that none of our x-coordinates are the same, right? We have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is a function. And then on the next one, I want you to notice these two. Once you kind of get used to this, you would be able to pick that out. So I have a -2, 0, and I have -2, -1. So this one is not a function because some of my x-coordinates repeated, in particular on these two ordered pairs, so not a function. All right, next. So this is called the vertical line test. Basically, if a vertical line test is drawn through the graph and it intersects more than once, then that graph is not a function. So we're just going to go through these and look. So basically anywhere you might draw a vertical line. Oh, I'm not going to put, I'm just going to draw lines without arrows. So you guys see that none of these vertical lines, or somewhat vertical, are intersecting the line but one time. So it is actually a fact that a line, unless it's vertical, is always going to be a function. So this one's a function. And if I said why, right, because each input has exactly one output. So none of the x's repeat basically on that. On the next one, it's just a horizontal line, and you can see it's never intersecting more than one time. So this one is also a function. And I'm going to just say different things here because there's more than one way to explain. Because none of the, no, let's just say, because, I'll explain it with the vertical line test this time. Because a vertical line will only intersect the graph one time. Now you can draw multiple vertical lines to test this out when you're trying to decide. And then next, notice this one it's got more than one, right? It intersects at more than one time. We can see that already. We don't really have to draw more lines, but you can, more vertical lines. So this one is not a function. And that would be because a vertical line intersects more than once. And then the next one, this is also not a function. You can see that vertical lines are intersecting it in a couple of places. So this is not a function, and the reason is the same as number 15. Okay, so the same reason for number 15, because a vertical line intersects, let me put an S on that, more than once. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use these because we're still talking about the vertical line test. Recall that the graph of a linear equation is a line, and that a line that is not vertical will pass the vertical line test. Thus, all linear equations are functions except those that are x equals a number or x equals c. So the first one is a linear equation, so it is a function. It would pass the vertical line test. X equals 3 is not a function because it is a vertical line, not a function. So basically, if the equation can be written in the form y equals mx plus b, it's a function because x equals a number is not written in that form. Y equals -9 is a horizontal line, so it is a function. And then y equals x squared minus 3. Now this one's a little trickier because you might have to do check out some ordered pairs. This is not a linear equation, but this makes a parabola that opens up, so this one is a function. What you might have to do is just graph some ordered pairs to see, right, what's going to happen. Oh gosh. So if we put in some numbers for x, right, so let's say we put in, right, -1, 0, 1, and just check those, right? So negative 1 squared minus 3, that's only going to give me one output. So if my input is negative 1, my output is negative 2. My input is 0, my output is negative 3. If my input is 1, my output is also negative 2. So you can see that some of the y values are repeating, but that is perfectly fine. So this is also a function. All right, so this video got kind of long because I wanted to group these same concepts together. I'm going to stop now and start another video on the next part of this.